Welcome to the Purpose to Service podcast, a weekly show for women entrepreneurs who are ready to package up their knowledge and build a thriving service-based business that fuels the life they desire. I'm your host, Alicia Robertson, and through this show, I share real-life advice, my proven strategies for building your personal brand and gaining more clients, and I chat with other incredible women who are not only crushing it in their industry, but also building their business with intention. Whether you're just getting started or a seasoned professional, every week we dig deep into how you can leverage what you know and make a bigger impact through your content, make more money, and build your coaching or service-based business on purpose. Let's dig in. Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode. So I am also back. So you may or may not have noticed that I took a little break during this month of June. So when I got to the end of May, I realized that I was just really tired. Like, to the point where my content making juices just were not flowing as they should have been or as they normally are. And I know my body, I know that when I normally get to that point where I feel like I really can't form a sentence or come up with a good sentence, I know that it is time for me to take a break. So I took an impromptu break, which was essentially, like, at first was supposed to just be a break for me to catch up on like tasks that have been sitting on my to-do list for forever and to like plan out more content for July. But I got about midway through June and was like, I have done nothing but write this book that I'm working on, and it has been like the best thing ever. So I knew that my body really just needed genuine rest, and I have been starting my mornings whenever I wanted to. I haven't been in like a super big rush to get back to work. I have been taking naps and breaks throughout the day, and it has really been the best month ever. And I know a lot of people, when we talk about consistency, we're like, you got to keep going, you need to be producing, you need to stay consistent, all of these things. But I don't want us to forget that consistency also includes rest. Like, can you be consistent in your rest as well? And consistent doesn't mean that you're not allowed to take breaks. So that's what I did for the month of June. And you guys, I feel so much better now. I'm excited to get back into talking to you guys every week. I'm excited to bring up some new topics and talk more about how I have been tweaking my brand message a little bit over this past month as well. So I'm excited to be back. I hope you guys missed me. I hope you were able to catch up on old episodes while I was gone. But today I wanted to talk about what season are you in your business? More specifically, what season are you in and how does that determine the goals that you're creating? So since we are coming up on the third quarter of 2021, by the way, where in the world has this year gone? Like, it has flown by. And right now, because Q3 is coming up, you're probably in like planning mode right now, like thinking about how you're going to market, your launches, your content, all of the things for the next 3 months. So I wanted to talk about the different seasons of business that you may be in and how that really determines the goals that you create for this quarter and even as you move on throughout the rest of this year and into 2022. So this concept of your seasons that I'm going to talk about today, I actually introduced this first to our members inside of the Purpose to Service Academy during our Q3 planning session last week. So when we come into a new quarter, we have our group coaching sessions, but we dedicate one of those sessions going into a new quarter on planning our goals and our strategies and things like that for the upcoming quarter. And we do it together. And, you know, we just talk about all of the goals and things that we want to set moving forward. So it really helped a lot of our members talking about these seasons and helping them to put this in perspective. It really helped a lot of our members to remove a lot of the overwhelm that often comes with goal setting. So I know a lot of us sit down to set goals and then we're immediately like, what am I supposed to focus on? Like, what should be taking priority? what should go where, what should I be doing? So thinking about your business in seasons definitely helps to remove a lot of that overwhelm. And it also helps to, for a lot of our members to gain clarity around what they should be focusing on as well. So while I do believe in consistently selling and doing what you need to do to generate consistent income in your business, I don't necessarily believe that your big goals should all be focused on just making money unless that is the season that you're in. So some seasons of your business are for intense selling, while others may be for, quieter, more nurturing type of work. So today I'm going to talk about the 4 different business seasons, how to know which season you're in, and what task you should be focusing on during each season. So if you don't already, make sure you take out a piece of paper, notebook, notepad, so that you can take notes. If you're driving and listening to this in the car, please be safe and just take good mental memory. All right, so season number 1 is the season of preparation. So you are in this season most likely if you're just getting started in your business, or if you just made like a really huge pivot or shift in your business. So if you are changing business models, or if you're shifting on who it is that you're targeting. So if you're going towards like a different target audience, you may be in a season of preparation. So during this season, you may be working on doing things like perfecting your brand message and making sure that is really clear and understandable. It may be really fleshing out your target audience and getting a better understanding of what your audience is needing from you, where they can be found, what are they likely to invest in right now. And that also may come in the form of you doing some market research during this season as well. So sending out a survey to your current email subscribers if you have an email list, getting on the phone with, a handful of people one-on-one to just kind of ask them questions about where they're at in regards to your industry or your niche, and really just kind of digging deeper into what they are currently needing help with. So that may be a season of doing like a lot of market research. So in this season, you could also be in the process of mapping out your new offer. So this is a season of you just preparing for what's to come. So making sure that you have that solid business foundation in place so that when you are in the season of nurturing, you already know who your target audience is, or once you do get into the season of selling, you already have a solid offer, or at least a solid offer outline that you can begin pushing. So again, like I said, if you're in the preparation season, it's likely because you're just getting started in your business, or you have just made a really huge shift or pivot in how you're doing business as well. So this is typically the season where you're spending time just laying that solid business foundation. So I know that may not seem like a lot, but this season is so important because again, you're laying that solid business foundation, and everything that you're going to be doing in your business moving forward is really going to layer on top of this season of preparation. So you can't skip past this season and expect to jump into a season of selling because, one, you won't have a good understanding of what your audience is needing from you, so you probably don't have a good offer, and then you also won't have like a solid brand message. So how are you positioning yourself? You can't go out and sell something if you haven't spent time building that trust and positioning yourself as an expert. So just remember, this season is like really where you are laying the foundation of your business and how everything else is going to layer on top of that. All right, so season 2 is the season of nurturing. So in this season, you are likely focused on growing and nurturing your audience and really priming them to be ready to work with you once your offer does launch. So in this season, you're going to be focused on audience growth. So that could look like introducing a new lead magnet to get people onto your email list. It may be hosting a couple webinars or like, very casual pick my brain sessions so that you can begin answering some of your client or your audience's questions, or getting them onto your email list, or getting to know them better. Or you could even, spend some of this time having like really casual conversations, whether that be on or off social media, so that again, you can put a face to your brand, that your audience can have some time with you in like a group capacity, of course, and then also so that you can begin building those relationships. So everything that you're doing in this season is meant to help you to grow your audience and to also really work on priming them and building that relationship so that when you do launch your offer, they are ready to go ahead and sign up with you. So it's removing a lot of that hesitation of, I don't know who this person is. I don't even know if she knows what she's talking about. I don't even know if I should be working with her. Like, it removes a lot of those hesitations. And so when you do launch, it's like, I've been waiting for this for months. I know her, I trust her, her content is amazing, her free content is amazing, so I already know her paid offer is about to be even more incredible. So spending that time, again, nurturing your audience. So this season is where you will introduce more content that speaks directly to your audience. So content that talks about their pain points or problems that they may want to have solved. You'll also be creating content around a lot of those mindset shifts that they need to be making. Either mindset shifts that are stopping them from believing that they can actually have this thing that you're wanting to help them to achieve, or any type of hesitations or obstacles or mindset shifts that may be stopping them from working with you. So making sure that you're creating content that speaks directly to your audience. So, and also this is going to be a great point in your journey where you're going to introduce your signature framework. So side note, if you don't have a signature framework yet, you should definitely check out my Create Your Signature Framework workshop, where I literally teach you step by step how to map out your signature framework that you'll not only use to build your brand, but also use to map out your signature service offer as well. But all right, back to this season. So in this season, again, you are creating content that is really going to help to build that relationship between you and your audience, build that trust between you and your audience, and also help them to move past any obstacles or hesitations or mindset shifts that may be stopping them from fully believing that they can have what you're promising, and also that may be stopping them from wanting to work with you or wanting to invest in your upcoming offer. All right, so season 3 is the season of selling or sales. So for you, if you're in this season, this is where you are, of course, actively selling. So most likely you're in the middle of a big launch or a big sales campaign where literally you're just like super hyper focused on getting more clients into the door, getting more income into the door, and selling. So during this season, all of your content is going to be focused around your offer, and your call to action should be leading people back to your sales page, or your call to action should be signing up for a sales call with you or completing their application. So again, everything that you create during this season of selling or your season of sales is going to be focused on getting more clients into the door, getting more leads, getting more sales, generating more income as well. So this is where you are probably going to be putting in a lot more energy. So be very mindful of that, because selling and launching consistently does take a lot of energy. So this is where you're really going to be like going hard and going full force. Now, that doesn't mean that in these other seasons you can't be, focused on selling. So I have, some content if I'm in another season, I will kind of sprinkle in some sales content and just remind people of how they can work with me. But when I'm in this season of sales, baby, you better believe everything that comes out of my mouth is going to lead you back to my offer or back to my sales page. So make sure that when you're in this season, you are doing what you need to do as well on the self-care side, so that you are really preserving your energy and that you are getting the rest that you need, so that you are able to, really serve your clients in the best way, or serve your audience in the best way, and letting them know how they can continue to learn and work with you. All right, so the last season is our season of growth. So during this season, you have found typically a good flow within your business. So let's say you just came off of a big launch, did pretty well, and now you're just kind of coasting. So during this season is where you have consistent income coming in, you have consistent clients coming in, your audience is growing like at a steady rate, so you have the systems and things in place to where you're attracting new leads or new clients or new people into your audience kind of on autopilot. So in this season, you should be focused on what you can do to simplify your business and make sure that everything is essentially just running as smooth as possible. So that for you may look like hiring and bringing in on new team members, or maybe finally hiring that virtual assistant, or hiring someone to really revamp the back end of your business. That could look like setting up your sales funnel or investing in new systems that will, again, automate your business as much as possible so that you're not doing everything manually. So in this season of growth, you're focused on how can I make my business more simpler, run smoother, but also continue to generate income. So again, depending on what season you're in right now determines the goals you should be setting. So if you're in this nurture season, you know that you should be focused on audience growth and relationship building tasks. If you are in the season of selling, you know that literally everything that comes out of your mouth should be directly related to your offer and how you can lead people back to working with you. So, of course, I modeled this whole thing around the actual seasons that we experience. So, winter, spring, summer, fall. Almost got it wrong. So as we know, seasons change and they repeat themselves. So the same is going to go for the seasons in your business. So I have been an entrepreneur for over 9 years, and I right now am right back in this season of preparation, and I'm slowly going into a season of nurturing. I've talked about this with you guys of how I revamped a lot of, going from what was a membership program to a group coaching program. So that was a big shift in my business. That was a big change in my business, which kicked me back into like this season of preparation, because now I have to make sure, my messaging is clear. I have to make sure that my offer is clear. I have to make sure that I am serving my audience in the way that they want to be served. So I am right back with y'all in this season of preparation, but I'm also feeling like I am slowly going back into the season of nurturing where, I'm starting to gain more momentum now. So don't think that there is something wrong with your business if you have found yourself starting back at the beginning. Again, it's a season. It lasts for a few months. Some seasons are shorter than others depending on where you live in the world, but it keeps going round in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. So don't feel like if you're back at this season of preparation, or if you've been in this season of preparation for too long, that there's something wrong in your business. That just may be the season where you need to spend the bulk of your time or the bulk of your priorities so that the rest of the seasons can run very smooth. All right, you guys, so here is what I want you to do next. So let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app. Head over to Instagram and let me know what season you're currently in your business right now. So I would love to chat about your season and maybe some of the big goals that you are planning for this upcoming quarter. As always, you guys, thank you so much for checking out this week's episode. I'll see you next week with more tips and strategies on how to grow your coaching or online service-based business with more intention. Before you go, I'd love to know what your biggest takeaway was from this episode. Take a screenshot and share it with me over on Instagram at @TheAliciaNicole. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, please head over to your favorite podcast streaming app and rate the show and leave a review. The more great ratings and reviews we receive, the more incredible women we are able to impact with our message. And as always, thank you so much for listening to the Purpose to Service podcast.